gone are missing and your house has got an empty bed. The folks will wonder about the wedding, they will listen to a word you said. We're gonna take your mama out all night, yeah, we'll show what it's all about. We'll get her jacked up on some cheap champagne, we'll let the good times all roll out. And if the music ain't good, well, it's just too bad. We're gonna sing along no matter what, because the dancers don't mind if the New Orleans, if you tip them and we make a cut. Do it, take your mama out all night, so she'll have no doubt that we're doing all the best we can. We're gonna do it, take your mama out all night. You can stay up late, 'cause baby, you're a full-grown man. It's a struggle, living like a good boy oughta. In the summer, watching all the girls pass by. When your mama heard the way that you've been talking, I tried to tell you that all she wanted to do is cry. Now we end up taking the long way home, looking overdressed, wearing buckets of stale cologne. It's so hard to see the streets on a country road when your glasses in the garbage and your continental's just been told. We're gonna take your mama out all night, yeah, we'll show her what it's all about. We'll get her jacked up on some cheap champagne, we'll let the good times all roll out. And if the music ain't good, well, it's just too bad. We're gonna sing along no matter what, because the dancers don't mind if the New Orleans, if you tip them and they make a cut. Do it, take your mama out all night, so she'll have no doubt that we're doing all the best we can. We're gonna do it, take your mama out all night. You can stay up late, 'cause baby, you're a full-grown man. Mama out all night, so she'll have no doubt that we're doing all the best we can. We're gonna do it, take your mama out all night. You can stay up late, 'cause baby, you're a full-grown man.
Home edition. I'm Tom Hedrick, proud dad of a Southwest High senior, director of marketing and communications, Southwest Performing Arts Council, and, well, for the second year, your MC. So, if this were a typical year, we'd be together in a large gathering space for a number of hours, and we'd be bidding on silent auction items and playing the wine toss and noshing on snacks and enjoying a full evening of in-person entertainment on a stage only a few feet away from us. The past 13 months, though, they've been anything but typical, which brings us to our home edition of Hot Notes. This is a party, an interwoven celebration of the performing arts at Southwest High. Tonight, you'll see an impressive collection of performances as we once knew them, but you'll also observe the ingenuity of our students and teachers as they've adapted to, well, the realities of life in a global pandemic. You'll see and hear this through 2 acts of content that tell the story of Southwest Performing Arts, the curriculum and the programming, and most importantly, the people who make it happen, And although this is a party, it's also our last major push of the school year to raise dollars for the 5 performing arts disciplines. All departments were severely affected by a year without admissions revenues, alongside, well, the loss of one elective in the bell schedule, budget reductions, staff cuts, and truthfully coming changes to the student count, and of course that persistent virus. Investments in distance learning tools and technologies alone have strained our resources. So please, your donations are very much appreciated. There's a URL scrolling across the bottom of your screen throughout the program. And Brian, Mr. Fisher, do you think you could call up the giving URL as a feature on our screen right now? Are you prepared to do that for us? We tested it in rehearsal. There it is. SWH, southwestperformingarts.org/give. That is a landing page that will take you to both our giving board, where you can actually buy a donation square from $50 all the way up to $5,000 and different stops in between, where you can choose the department that you want to give to, or just choose no preference, just general donation. And there's also a link on that landing page for what we call our tip jar, which means you can just donate any amount you want to, no matter how big, no matter how small. You can even add pennies onto it if you want. But we are grateful for any donation. So thank you for that, Brian, and we'll bring that up again, and it'll always be on the bottom of your screen. Just wanted to give you a couple of big pieces of news. We have received, before we start Act 1 of our streaming program, we have received an anonymous $5,000 donation, which is awesome. But that donor is putting out a challenge. They're still going to make the donation, but they want to see another $5,000 donation. So that's the challenge. Now, in this day and age of Venmo, you could, if you all there have friends, you want to team up and pool the funds and match that donation from a Venmo account. Doesn't matter, that's how we get there. But if somebody could do that and corral their friends and neighbors and family members, that would be awesome. But again, it's really a matter of the more we collect, the better off we are after a year that's really been rather harsh for us. And so thank you for considering it, but any amount's appreciated. So we have that. I also wanted to alert you, I'm going to just get out my little handy dandy phone here, because we've got, I'm able to check some donations live. We're up to almost $32,000. Now we have a $100,000 goal, so we have a long way to go. And trust me, if you've been to the website, you will see how much it costs just for sheet music. So I'll talk more about that later. What can you expect tonight? Our time together includes a live intermission right here at the conclusion of Act 1. And during that intermission, we'll hear from our principal, Dr. Butler, 2 of our students, our Performing Arts Council president, and there is going to be a very highly entertaining game, a quiz game that's well worth watching. You're going to have a lot of fun with that. So we're looking forward to that. So I'll see you back here in about 20 minutes or so. Until then, enjoy Act 1 of Hot Notes Home Edition.
engaging. I was engaging. I had to smile. Come on.
People need to feel like they belong in a place. And I think that is best demonstrated through a performing arts ensemble, where you are doing something together to create that classroom community, which is a microcosm of the school community. And, you know, publicly, we represent the face of the school, right? We're out in a concert, we're on the street parading through. We're at the band show, we're at the basilica. We are the public face of the school, and I think students step up to that role in a different way in a performing arts ensemble than they would in perhaps a different type of class.
So yes, distance learning was definitely challenging at first, and I always got that question like, well, how are you going to teach online dance? What are you going to do? And luckily over the summer I took a dance film class in July, and I kind of fell in love with dance film myself as a choreographer. And I thought, wow, this could be exciting. So I just decided we're going to really focus on this. We're going to pivot from choreographing for the stage to choreographing for the camera. And we went into camera motion techniques, we went into video editing, and the students really appreciated that we were just doing something completely different and really switching things up and using the environments that they were living in, whether they be indoor or outdoor, and trying to tell stories. Most of them told stories about what they were up to during the pandemic, but some came up with other creative stories and just the stories of their lives and what they were going through. And they created dance films. I think I was the most proud of that, in terms of everything I've done through the pandemic. I'm really proud of the fact that I taught the students new skills. I was learning new things all the time with them and kind of just delved into the area of dance film.
I think this is where I'm supposed to sit. This is my first time flying, so I'm a little nervous. Have you flown before?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. This is my first time flying. Ever.
I just love flying, Mommy. Will Daddy be at the airport when we're there?
He sure will, honey.
Awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Flight 99, direct flight to Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're delighted that you've chosen South Country Airlines today. The captain has indicated that we should have a smooth flight with only some minor turbulence over Kansas City.
Turbulence? What does he mean, turbulence?
Parents always said, this is the one class, or the arts class that my student has is the one that their cameras are on, they're laughing, they're engaged for 2 hours, they sound like themselves. So I guess the thing about being engaging is just that theater is engaging. And so they have to participate, they have to try things. They made up their own games and then they would see if they worked or not. You know, sometimes they don't. So, and part of that is like dying of laughing because your game didn't work. So I would say that it's just that it's so interactive and it's so student-led that they really are the ones that took it. So I don't even know that I chose all these unique things. They just, everything we tried, they're just so gung-ho and they really want it to work and they really want it to be fun and they really want to be there.
performing arts helps students stay in touch and express their emotions, because we all have lots of emotions through this, and it gives voice and feeling. It gives opportunity for expression both personally and in a small group or a large group setting to allow the feels, to feel the feels, to act out the feels, to express them in whatever art form speaks to your heart. I think what's amazing about what I do is that I am allowed to be the dreamer I am. And I dreamed about a guitar program where I could just constantly say yes. Yes, let's figure it out. Yes, let's make it. Yes, let's do it. Yes, let's create it. And I just don't get told no, which is such a beautiful gift. People believe in the vision. The students believe in the vision, and they make it come to life. They just really energize everything from songwriting to classical playing to all the instruments that go with the guitar and everything that supports the guitar.
I believe in the pay it forward idea. I think that all of us who choose to teach do so because we believe in the big idea of whatever it is we're teaching. So while I love and live for choral music, it's really a vehicle to create and provide a community and a space for kids to connect, to belong, to deepen, to harness, whatever. So through choir and through that process, I think students get a bigger idea and a bigger picture and understanding of community and giving back and connection.
I think that one way that dance specifically has helped students in this era is we've really focused on self-care a lot and really just kind of being in touch with what you're feeling, what you're going through, and then figuring out how to communicate that and how to reflect on that and then how to share it with other people so that you are not alone. Because that's one thing I think in this time of the pandemic, we've all been isolated, we've all been in our own little silos, and I think it's been really important for students, especially in their teenage years, to be able to have those peer connections and to understand that they're not alone.
Yeah, I like her better than the girl that was perfect. I see it slow and focus growing so much better than the girl that was perfect. No shit. I like me better. I like me better. Better than the girl that was perfect. I'm better, and I like it better.
You know, for a lot of students, we want to get to a spot where we are once again playing literature together. I mean, the number one reason why a student enrolls in a band or orchestra jazz ensemble is because they want to play music with other people that want to play music. And they want to play engaging pieces. And so I think the future for us looks a little bit back at what we were doing, and we try to develop and redevelop that high level of classroom community that we've had. But we also want to tweak it and make sure that we are starting with equity at the forefront, whether that's which composers are in the folders, whether that's guest artists that we're bringing in to make sure that we are truly representing our school community, and different performing options that, you know, a lot of students don't even know we have an orchestra at our school. I still run into people that say, I didn't even know we had an orchestra. You know, so we need to do a better job of being out there. We need to do a better job getting to our elementary schools. We need to do a better job getting to our middle schools so that we are in their classrooms more frequently than we have in the past.
Actually, all the money that we had saved up was great because I would say we're pretty fiscally responsible because we always know that we're planning for next year where we're building for this year. You know, we're keep moving. The pandemic threw us just in the sheer amount of money that it costs to do things. We reallocated. I wouldn't say that we didn't spend money because we didn't spend it money maybe where we had traditionally spent it, but we had to reallocate. So we went out looking for somebody who could really do incredible work with musicians and filming them and recording them and then recording our kids so that they sound really good even though we filmed outside around a fire pit in the freezing cold.
We didn't have costumes, lights, certain things. We got frugal in that way. But to maintain the high standards that we have here at Southwest with the performing arts, we found people who could help us do that. So with professional musicians, and our students got to work with that. And with a recording studio, I mean, so many students this fall talked about, even though it was your garage, how cool it was to record themselves in that manner, and they had pride in what they were doing it because we treated it with that level of respect. And that costs money.
It costs money.
It costs money.
Right. And I think one of the best compliments we got in some ways was when people said, I didn't expect it to be that good. And they said the sound and the editing and the video were really quality work, and that we want to highlight our students. We don't want it to be like, oh, I bet they're talented, but it's grainy and we can't really hear them. And it's edited poorly. And we didn't want that. We wanted it to look professional because just because you changed, I mean, the whole Broadway had to change. The whole theatrical community had to change. And so we wanted to model that as well so that we show that we're as resilient and as tenacious as Broadway and the Jungle. And so we all pivoted. And I think it was important for us as an arts community to show kids that pivoting and reallocating and changing is good.
So we had these virtual concerts that we would prepare so people would watch them for free at home, But we aren't taking donations. So a huge amount of our budget comes from the donations people make when they come to choir concerts and band concerts and orchestra concerts and all of them. So there's a huge influx of income there too that pays for resources, pays for student needs when it comes to outfits or scholarships for various things, for voice lessons. A lot of that money isn't here. Thousands of dollars in donations that we didn't get this year. So not only did we spend money, we're down thousands of dollars from the donations that usually happen at the concert. So there's money there, but it isn't some huge pile. And we've spent more than I thought we were going to have to spend this year to do this online learning thing. And it's one of those pieces, unless you know it, it's unless you know how it works and understand the workings, you wouldn't think of it.
And thank you to you parents for supporting us and being there in more ways than you even realize. From financial support to the little emails like, hey, loved that blah, blah, blah at the concert the other night, or heard my kids singing in the shower the other day, or that's weird, don't use that.
No, do use it.
But yeah, it means a lot just getting little tiny emails or seeing you at concerts, afterwards.
In the words of the prophets were written on the studio wall, concert hall. And echoes with the sound of salesmen, of salesmen, of salesmen.
Oh, you go. Cool. Rush. I lost a sneaker at a Rush concert back in 1983 in Toledo, Ohio, when I was in college at a hockey rink. But that's another story. Anyway, yeah, Rush. Okay, good. What a great first act. How about that, huh? Isn't that awesome? What I love about this, the way this program's been put together, and I want to thank a Southwest High alum named George Marshall, who took all this footage provided by our teachers and Paul Perner and myself. We were able to get the teacher interviews. Paul asked the questions, and we met with the teachers. And we just gave George just a ton of footage, and he just put it all together. And he made this, I just think, a magical program. It's sort of documentary-ish, right? The way we have the teachers come in and talk about the programming, then you see what's going on to support those points. I just think it's a fantastic way to tell the story. So we're live back with you for about 20 minutes or so. Before we bring in our first guest, I'd like to look at our total raised. Let's see if this will update. It's been a little, no, it's kind of frozen. I know we've gotten a little more, but we were at 31,793, but some more donations have come in. Sometimes the little app from our website gets a little fussy, so go figure later on in the night, it'll probably update. But anyway, keep those donations coming. We're seeing them coming on the email, and this is so exciting. We really appreciate the support, but we're still a fair distance from our goal, so keep them coming. All right. Brian, one more time, can you emphasize the URL for the giving page? It's going to come up any minute. He's there. There it is. SouthwestHighSchoolPerformingArts.org/give. All right, well, on with the party. You don't want to hear me talk about money all night. So our first guest is a Southwest High senior. And Brian, if she's ready, I'm ready. There she is, Honora Smith. Honora, welcome to Hot Notes Home Edition.
Thank you for having me. This is so fun.
Well, it is fun, and we're delighted you're here with us. Folks, if you've been attending or watching theater productions at Southwest High for the past 4 years, you will recognize Honora. She's been in so many featured roles on both the main stage and the black box productions, and very active in choir. So glad you're here. Honora, I'd like to sort of kick off with, I mean, it's been quite a ride for you with close to 3 years with the traditional steady in-person performing, and then all of a sudden this abrupt pivot to the idea of virtual performances. So, what stands out for you over the past year and contrasting that with the first 3 years that you were in Southwest?
Yeah, I think what stands out most for me is just like how committed the staff really is to creating like this community for students. I know at the beginning of the year, me and Murphy Schonecker, we're the co-presidents of the chamber choir, we were able to put together a little virtual hangout for the chamber people, which was really fun. And then all of the performing arts showcases were a blast. And yeah, it just goes to show how awesome the staff is here at Southwest.
That's great. Good to see your smile tonight. Even in our off time, doing a nice streaming event like this, that radiance that you show on the stage just shines through. You've done so many roles during your time, and I just was curious are there any particular roles that sort of, if you could take them all together and think about them, that really said, yeah, that one, or these two really just felt perfect to me? Tell me some stories here.
Well, last year, the very beginning of the year, I was in a Unhinged production directed by Ava Norling and Paige Schuler called Tigers Be Still. And that was probably the most like acting wise, like challenging show, because a lot of characters I've played are just like kind of goofy characters. But the character in that show was really was a lot more complex. So that was really fun. And then any musical is just a blast. High School Musical was just a very silly, fun time. But Chorus Line, sorry, I'm listing everything basically. But I had never done that much dancing, and it was just a blast. But yeah.
I got one role I remember of yours that really was a lot of fun, and it was more of a character role. It was Skin of Our Teeth. I think you played a fortune teller, if I remember.
I did, yeah. That one was like physically kind of the most interesting thing I'd ever done, because it was kind of like curled over and like gnarly the whole time. But yeah, that was fun.
a lot of fun. Very interesting show, I will add. So any other memories? Let's see, we've been talking about theater, but you're also big into choir. So if you think about the whole magnitude of everything with choir, theater, anything else you've done, whether it's been working with a guest director or a school trip or Basilica concerts, anything else that you just think, wow, this really defined my experience?
Last year we were able to go on a chamber tour in February to Duluth, and we got to, go around all over the place. And I think my favorite part was going to the Glen Sheen Mansion. I think the group was like me, Mr. Fisher, Murphy, Diego, and Aiden. I think the five of us were kind of like a group, and we would go around, and it was just really cool to like learn things in like this like small group of like people, because like that group of people, we weren't like it was just like an interesting combination, and it was just really cool to see everyone's like reactions to whatever we were learning. But yeah, chamber tour was a lot of fun. Chamber is just a lot of fun. Choir is a lot of fun.
So great. So I want to thank you for being here. But before we go, just real quick, where are you headed this fall? What's your next adventure?
I'm off to Columbia College Chicago to study acting. Yeah.
No surprise there. Awesome. Well, we're very proud of you, and you're going to be greatly missed on the Southwest High stage. But we wish you all the best to begin your experience there. And world, all I can say is watch out for Honora because she is a big talent and you have helped define the experience. And thanks for joining us here for a few minutes tonight.
No, thank you for having me. This is a lot of fun.
Awesome. All right. Well, so next we have a very special guest. We bring to our screen the president of the Southwest Performing Arts Council and a proud dad of a Southwest senior, none other than Mr. George Stagg, my friend and colleague. George, thanks for being here and for your leadership of the council.
Oh, well, thanks, Tom. And it's really an honor to be here. And it's great to be here tonight at the end of this crazy year. So thanks. Doing a great job.
Well, thank you. I was born a ham, so I just have to do this. But tell us, George, about the council. There's probably a lot of people out there that may not know a lot about it. And so can you tell us basically what it is and what we do?
Yeah, the council pretty much does three things. Grow awareness and advocacy for the performing arts at Southwest High School. When things are live, we provide and organize a lot of volunteers for all the various events that the teachers have. And then obviously we try to raise money for the programs. Those three things.
That's great. And the president, you're the president. What does the president do?
Well, I basically just try to keep the business end of things running so that the people that have a lot of the creative talent can do their jobs well, like you and all of the back scene people. So I just kind of keep the business running and making sure throughout the course of the year we meet some of our goals and deadlines.
It's awesome. Surely then the performing arts must have spoken to you to take on this duty. So how do the performing arts resonate with you?
A couple things. I think that the performing arts, like all the arts, Ruth's comment earlier, I think just really reflects it. There's an ability that the arts have to express the full range of human emotion, either deep sorrow or utter delight and joy, that just there's no other way to express it in the way that the arts can. And I'd love to see that beauty coming out of the students' faces. Our kids have participated in the performing arts, which really, in conjunction with our passion for and desire for the performing arts, our kids love it, and our kids have benefited greatly from the performing arts at Southwest. And so we just wanted to give back. And so that's why I volunteered, and my wife has been supporting and volunteering as well along the way. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, our mutual friend, Mr. Perner, is sending me text messages saying that I'm running a little behind. So I will say this. We're not going to talk about recruiting, but we are going to plant the seed, George, that as we wrap the segment, we are going to have a recruiting party because a lot of us are moving off the council because we have kids that are seniors. So that's coming up in early June. So we'll be getting messages out on that. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And if you as a parent would love to help out, and some of you freshmen or sophomore parents, we'd love you to help out these teachers here. They do such a great job. It's such a great experience. Go to our website. There's a place where you can send us an email if you'd like to help out. I think that probably the best way, send an email or call your teacher or one of the performing arts teachers and tell them you want to help out. And then we can make all the things happen to do that.
Excellent. Well, George, thanks for being here. Thanks for your service to the council. And let's enjoy the rest of the show. There's a little more to come here in the intermission. But George, thanks for being here.
Hey, glad I could help. Thanks a lot, Tom.
All right. Well, folks, okay. So next up, a person we've come to rely upon for reassurance and perspective in what's been a very tumultuous 13 months. So I believe Dr. Valerie Littles Butler, our beloved principal, is on camera. There's Dr. Butler. Welcome to Hot Goods Home Edition.
Good evening. Good evening.
Thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
So, Dr. Butler, I'm just going to ask you just a few questions, and then you're our first contestant on our game. So I hope everybody out there is ready for our game. But before we do that, before we go through all that stuff, I just want to quickly ask you, I mean, this is a huge understatement, but this past year has been like any other. So I'm sure a lot of us like to know what's kept you going through all this.
Actually, what really keeps me going is being surrounded by staff that keep going, and we continue to encourage each other and push through for our students. It's not easy, and and the support of our parents as well and families. And you know what? The main thing is the resilience of our students. That's what keeps me
Fantastic.
going.
Couldn't say it better, and really appreciate it. It always comes through that you're putting staff and the students first, and it just, that's why we just appreciate you so much. I guess what I'd like to ask, in addition, is you yourself have a experience in performing arts directly as a student and as an adult. Can you tell us how that's informed your advocacy for the performing arts?
Absolutely. Actually, I went through the same pathway as these young people in choirs. I started in church when I was little, and then in high school and all of that, all the way through college. And I ended up marrying a musician and singer, and ended up in this play. And so it's called The Gospel at Colonus, which went on Broadway, went across the country and beyond. And I learned so much from so many people. And matter of fact, I learned a lot just watching actors like that were in the play, Morgan Freeman and people like that. So it's not like I went out to be this great actress, but I just learned a lot just being around a lot of people, and it's a lot of fun. And as one of the teachers did say, it's very engaging, and it's just a way to express yourself in many different ways, in many different languages.
Fantastic. You know, we're going to start our game in a minute, but one last question. Is there anything that you would like our future Laker families to know about Southwest? Like, if you could just say it in like a couple sentences, what would be like the big sell on Southwest?
Follow your passion. Always follow your passion. That is huge in life, so that you will actually get the practice at Southwest, and Southwest will help you perfect what you're doing at that level and connect you to your next level. So make sure you can always follow your passion.
Thank you for sharing your perspective here, Dr. Butler. Now we have a special honor for you because you're here with us. We are going to bring on one of your teachers that you know very well, Mr. Brian Fisher. Brian, I don't know if you're ready to come on camera. There he is.
Man.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
So we have a special. Here's the moment we've been waiting for, which is the special program of the intermission. This is the game. Now you've probably heard on MPR of a game called Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. You ever heard of that show before?
No, sir.
Okay, well, it's
I'm excited.
Well, we decided that we don't want to violate any copyright laws, so tonight's show is called Great, Great, Don't Smell Me. And so what's going to happen is because we've been social distancing, that's why it's Don't Smell Me, because we've all been locked up in our homes.
Right.
But here's how it works. Each of our contestants, and that starts with you, Dr. Butler, has agreed, I'm going to say agreed, to donate $200. See, did you know about this, by the way? To the Performing Arts Southwest to play our silly little game. And Mr. Brian Fisher will ask 3 multiple choice questions about the performing arts. If you answer 2 correctly, you'll win our prize, the opportunity to donate. See, isn't that amazing how this works?
Okay.
And, yeah, see, isn't that, see, it's a big, this is rigged, just, you know. So anyway, if you don't get the 2/3 correct, you still get to make the donation. So either or, it still works out the same. So with that, Mr. Fisher.
Yes, hello.
He's going to ask you
for all this insanity. Here we go.
Okay.
So you have 3 questions, Dr. Butler.
Yes,
of
sir.
varying arts discipline related questions. Here's the first one. John Philip Sousa, besides inventing the sousaphone and mustache wax, was also responsible for what famous saying? Multiple choice. 1, passing the baton. 2, hold the phone. 3, band camp.
Hold the phone. Oh, come on.
The correct response is passing the baton.
Oh, gosh.
Yes.
Okay.
That's okay. There's more. There's more. Here's the next question.
Bad. Okay.
Tracy Turnblad and Link Larkin are characters in which film turned stage musical, turned film again? Bird's Nest, Hairspray, or This Is Spinal Tap?
Hairspray.
Ding, ding. Well done. I knew it. And last but not least, what does cut time mean? Staccato, the time signature of traditional lumberjack songs, or another name for 4/4 time?
4/4 time.
That is correct, though I didn't write the question. It's a little confusing, but yes, you got it right. Ding, ding!
Yeah.
I got you all three. Yeah.
Yay! Our principal got 2/3 right. You want a chance to do it. Okay. So I think, Dr. Butler, we've put you through enough, but thank you for being here and for your continued leadership and advocacy for the performing arts at Southwest High. We really couldn't do it without you, and we very much appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I'm getting my money ready. I'm telling you, I'm coming right now.
Right. Awesome. Okay. Well, I think
Dr. Butler. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I think it's time to bring on our next victim.
Who might that be?
Well, we are going to find out as I look at my cheat sheet here. We have a special guest. It's Antone Melton Butts.
Good evening.
Antone. Good evening. And so, Antone, you are a professional mediator, and you're a civic leader who ran for the U.S. House this past cycle. Minister, husband, and world's luckiest dad. Welcome, Antone, and thanks for playing and supporting Southwest Performing Arts. So, in 5 seconds or less, Antone, what does it mean to be a mediator?
It means bringing people together who have challenges or disputes, and you help them figure out how to solve it together.
Fantastic. Tell us about your student.
Well, my daughter, Ava Melton Mukes, she's a junior at Southwest, and couldn't be more proud of her. She's been in theater since she started as a freshman. She's also with the Southwest Singers and with Chambers, and just loves the arts. We come from a musical family. My mother was a gospel singer in the 60s, and my father was a piano player, and my sister is a music teacher. So the arts are very important to us as a family, and we're really grateful for Southwest.
Fantastic. Great answer. And, I'll say this as we lead into your time in the hot seat, answering our questions. We'll say we're all looking forward to a normal school year. So thanks again for putting up with this, because here we go. So are you ready to play, Antone?
I am ready.
Okay, Mr. Fisher, you are on.
Question 1. Paul McCartney was the bassist for the Beatles and arguably one of the most innovative bassists of all time. Who was his iconic bass made by, and why did McCartney use it? Choice 1, Hofner. Choice 2, Fender. Choice 3, Rickenbacker.
That is a very difficult question.
It is.
It is a total guess. I'll go with C, Rickenbacker.
Hofner, because he liked the look. There it is. Question 2. We can catch up. Which of the following is not a valid member of the percussion section?
Okay.
Timpani. Bongos. A high school junior's desk.
You know what? I know kids would disagree with me, but I would go with number 3, a high school junior's desk.
Ding, ding. Well done. Nice. And last but not least, which musical penned by Lin-Manuel Miranda tells the story of America's founding fathers? Wicked, Hamilton, Daddy Warbucks.
Well, I guess I have to go with Hamilton.
Ding, ding. Well done.
There's a trend here that our guests get 2/3 of the answers right, which means you've won the opportunity to donate $200 to Southwest Performing Arts. Thank you, Antone, for being here and playing our game.
Thank you very much for having me.
We have a comment that Fisher's hair is as fabulous as this gravity defiant. Okay.
Yeah. I just cut it myself this afternoon. I'm not lying.
Right.
It's
perfect.
Yeah.
It's contestant number 3 to bring on is Janie Winterbauer.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Janie.
Oh, good.
Welcome to our show. And among other incredible achievements, Janie Winterbauer is a mom, wife, and unrepentant singer of songs in bands such as The Suburbs, and was actually a legitimate actually on a legitimate NPR show, unlike this one, called Wits. Janie, thanks for joining us. Please tell us a bit about your Southwest student.
Oh, well, I had a son that graduated in 2019, and I have a child that is a freshman right now. So,
fantastic.
Yeah.
How many
Hi,
times?
Hi, Jamie. So, Tom, you forgot to mention my personal weird, I'm just a weirdo, but my personal favorite connection is Astronaut Wife, which was a band that Jenny was in along with her husband, Christian, in the early 2000s. When did that?
Yeah, 2000, basically.
Flying Saucer. I'm obsessed. Go to iTunes and listen to it. I'm obsessed. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, I'm done. I'll stop.
No, that's okay. I was supposed to ask her how many times she played the main avenue, the main stage at First Avenue, I should say.
Many, many, many times.
Wow. I bet they're
It's
greener.
a fun stage.
Okay.
It's the only stage.
Okay. Well, now that we've brought you down to our level here, and we're decidedly less than the First Ave in terms of our accommodations, but we are going to subject you to Brian's wit and wisdom, and he's going to ask you 3 questions for you to answer. And remember, if you get 2/3 right or 2/3 wrong, the prize is saying you've won a chance to donate. So, Brian, take it away.
What does it mean to sing a cappella? Without a hat, without musical accompaniment, without speaking Italian.
It's all about being humble, and that's all that matters. Is being humble and singing a song and just putting yourself out there. That's all I can say about that.
I'll call that a correct answer. I'll call that a correct answer. Question 2. What is used to control the breath while singing? A muzzle.
Oh, the diaphragm.
Ding, ding.
Wow. Okay. Quickest answer ever. Okay. Question 3, Brian.
She knows it all. Okay. Question 3. You better know this. I'm just putting it out there, Janie.
Uh-oh.
The Time Warp and Sweet Transvestite are songs from which cult musical?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Give her the answer if you can choose one, then she'll get it.
Do you want the multiple choices or do you know?
Give me some multiple choice because.
Okay. The Rocky Horror Picture Show, Hedwig and the Angry Inch, or A Chorus Line?
Oh, geez Louise. I have to go for Rocky Horror.
Congratulations.
Wow, very well done.
I was always into the legitimate theater, and I never paid attention to the musical theater, and I feel so bad about that. But here we are.
So wait, hold on. You never went to the Uptown Theater to watch the Rocky Horror Midnight Show?
I didn't have a fake ID. I couldn't do that.
Oh.
I looked like I was 14 when I was 21, so I didn't have a fake ID that worked. So, I missed out, but that's okay.
You can always watch it and, stream it, but it's not the same. You got to go and get hit in the face with rice.
Toast. Yes.
With toast. You throw the toast. Yeah. Yeah.
Did that at
a very small segment of our audience, but it's a valid our audience.
Yeah. Well, Janie, thank you for being here with us. And
thank you for having me. It was so fun.
Okay, so next up, Michael Pennington. Michael's the mother of senior Honora Smith and alumni Sophia Smith, a remarkably deft peeler of oranges. And she's having, folks, I hope you're sitting down, a torrid love affair with Lake Harriet, and she has the pictures to prove it. So you, Michael, are ending a heck of a Southwest Performing Arts parental run. So first of all, thanks for everything you've done. You have been like the parent liaison for the theater for forever, and you're like I mean, you're Margaret and Amanda's right-hand person.
Well, I was not so much this year. They don't need me as much, but oh, I have loved my time volunteering with the arts. It's filled me up and made me closer to my kids, getting to spend time with them while they're creating their art and being with their friends that are creating the art too. It's really great. So if there are any parents out there looking for a way in which they can connect, it's a really great opportunity to volunteer with the performing arts.
Word.
Truly,
So,
Michael, without you and parents like you, we would not be able to do what we do. It's you just have given so many hours of time and so much of your gifts and talent. Oh, see, everyone agrees. Look.
There you go. See? Michael, we know you've always dreamed of playing a trivial game on a live stream, so your wishes finally come true. So with the strength of your love affair with Lake Harriet as your guiding spirit, we are going to have the man whose hair defies gravity, Brian Fisher, ask you 3 questions. Brian,
that's a thing now. Okay, I'll just go with it. I'll go with it.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
Ready. Okay.
Who founded the Ballet Russe? Mikhail Baryshnikov, Sergei Dioghilev. Sorry, I don't know dancers. Sergei Dioghilev or Boris Badenov?
Oh, I'm going to say Ballet Russe. I'm going to say A.
Mikhail Baryshnikov is
Yes.
incorrect.
Okay.
That's a rough one.
I don't know dance.
Well, you do dance, but no, yeah, that's a weird one. Question 2. Eddie Van Halen was known for requiring a bag of M&Ms with all of the brown ones removed. Why? 1, brown ones make you randy, and he promised Valerie Bertinelli he'd be good. If there were brown M&Ms backstage, they knew they needed to check the pyrotechnics because the producer didn't read the contract. Or brown was David Lee Roth's favorite color.
That would be number 2 or B, A, B, C. It was number 2.
Ding, ding! Well done.
Super smart.
Wasn't it though?
Yeah, really smart.
I love it. And thirdly, which sweet musical featured the show-stopping song Rhythm of Life? You want me to give them to you or do you know?
Give them to me.
All right, here we go. Sweet Charity, The Book of Mormon, or Dear Evan Hansen?
Sweet Charity.
Done in 2016 at Southwest High School. Ding, ding, ding!
Was Sophia in it?
Sophia was in it. Sophia was in it.
Awesome.
She had an amazing hairdo. I mean, and she performed really well too.
And look where she is. She's typing in.
Yep, see?
There she
is. The dog knows. Okay. Nice to hear from you, Sophia. Thanks for supporting your mom. Michael, you are a blessing. So thank you for being with us tonight. And we will be sure to stroll by Lake Harriet and take pictures of you taking pictures of the lake.
Well, it's at usually about 5 a.m. So if you're out there, that's where I am.
Green coffee will be there. Okay. Michael, thanks again.
Bye, Michael.
And for our final contestant, the renowned super parent supporter of Southwest Performing Arts, George Collar, is on. There's George.
Hi there.
You know, George and I, we had beverages before the Basilica concert once.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
I'm enjoying my Southwest Performing Arts cup or glass.
Nice. Nice. Well, George, thank you for being here. Oops, I lied. We have one more after George, but George, we're glad you're here. You are parent to 2 Southwest alumni. I'm told that you're a self-proclaimed homebody at heart who doesn't really notice that everyone else was also stuck inside last year. You are double vaxxed and you are ready for trivia facts. In fact, you came up with the name of our game, Great, Don't Smell Me. So for that alone, George, we are indebted to you forever. Thank you so much.
Everybody has to do their part.
It takes a village. Your wife Tanya has also been a big helper with Hot Notes and with theater. So Anyway, and rumor has it that you've been hanging out with our famous partner in fundraising hijinks, Bridget O'Boyle, all afternoon. Is that true, or is that just a rumor?
That's true. I'm in the green room and they're in the living room. So.
Perfect. Okay. Well, so we are going to have Mr. Fisher ask you 3 mind-bending questions and try not to crack under the stress. Okay, George? All right.
I'll try.
Okay.
Just breathe. Here we go. In 1958, who was the Cha-Cha champion of Hong Kong? Bruce Lee, Michael Tse, Nancy Kwan.
I don't know. But the Cha-Cha champion. It wasn't, I'm going to say, just like when I take multiple question tests anyways, and I don't know the answer, I'll just go with B.
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee was the Cha-Cha champion?
Bruce Lee! I guess so.
Yeah. Perner came up with these questions. If anybody knows Paul Perner, he really had too much fun with this. Okay, question 2.
Yeah, give me that Rocky Horror question from earlier. I knew that one.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could quote the whole movie. Shakespeare's Globe Theatre is the only building in London allowed to do what? Have the audience throw tomatoes at the performers, have a thatched roof, smell like that on purpose.
Probably, I've been there, so it's a little bit of all 3, but I'm guessing it would be the thatched roof.
Ding, ding.
Yep. All right. That's 1.
1 and 1. Finally, why is flamenco called flamenco? The name comes from the Andalusian expression of Falemin herd, which means landless peasant. Or 2, the first flamenco artists reminded of the pink-furred birds of the same name, flamingo, for their stiff pose. Or 3, gypsies who were and are the main architects of this musical genre were known in Andalusia as flamencos.
Wow. Seems like I got all the easy questions.
Perner knew you'd be answering them, just so you know.
That's right. And it's like, well, there's a one where they talked about birds having fur, so I don't think it's that one. I'm going to go with, just to keep things moving along, I'll go with, was the Gypsies the sea? All right, well, there you go.
And
that's how you answer questions, kids, when you don't know
that's
the
how
answer.
you do it.
Good luck on your finals.
Good luck on your finals. George, thank you for being here with us tonight.
Thank you, George. You're so nice to play this rough. Those were rough questions. Bye.
All right, contestant 6, we have 2 for here. We have Mike and Beth Sjogren. Bring on.
Hi there.
Hi, Sjogren.
How are you?
Hi, Mike and Beth Sjogren are parents of Billy, the 3rd Sjogren boy to enjoy the benefits of Southwest Performing Arts. This is, folks, you ready for this? This is their 10th consecutive and final year of having
I know.
a performer. Yeah, how about that?
I do when you're not here. It just won't seem right.
I know.
Okay, sorry.
For us too, but we'll come next year.
And
Okay.
Mr. Fisher, representing that, Sweet Charity was 2017.
Oh. Okay. Okay, thank you.
They keep slipping on by. So now you're not only lucky enough to volunteer to play our game that makes absolutely no sense, but you're also helping us out tonight with the incredible desserts from Roulette Bakery. Hint, hint, everyone, 10 Years at Southwest donates all the tarts from Roulettes to Hot Notes. Everyone should go there tomorrow and buy everything on the shelves and every day. By the way, just so you know, we buy our birthday cakes there exclusively with the best designs, custom made by the decorator. They are incredible. And if you ever want to see pictures, I'll share them with you, but the Roulette cakes are the best cakes. Okay. Mike and Beth Sjogren, you two are amazing. Thank you so much. Are you ready to play our game?
Yeah.
Okay, now Brian is going to put you through some sort of psychological trauma here. So, and he's all moosed up and ready to rock. So
I do not use moose. I quit using moose in 1987. I'm just kidding.
Let's do the time warp. Okay, Brian, go ahead.
There is little evidence that any instrument known as a guitar existed before the 15th century. Before being referred to as strings, what term was used to describe the strings on early instruments? Courses, gut, slicers.
I'm gonna say gut.
Gut.
Oh, it's made of
Horses. I didn't write.
We're gonna need maybe a special signal, Mr. Fisher, that looks like we are going around. Thank you.
Is that subtle enough? Okay.
Yeah. We didn't come up with questions though. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
If you are playing an oboe, you blow air into this, usually made of wood. A reed, a wixen, or a mouthpiece.
A reed.
Very well done. 1 and 1. Okay, it's the big moment. No pressure.
Can we call a friend?
Cleansing.
What? Sure.
Yeah.
Rent, the musical Rent is based off which opera? Carmen, La Boheme, Life of Brian.
I think it's La Boheme.
Ding ding!
All right.
End of act one.
Brian, right?
End of act one, like one of the best moments in musical theater. La Vie Boheme. You know, so good. So good. Congratulations.
Congratulations. You're big winners. And you're always winners because, well, not only are you cool for doing 10 years of performing arts at Southwest High through your wonderful children, but also because you're associated with the best bakery in the world. So we are so glad you were here tonight, and please hang out for the rest of the show because we have lots more to show. So,
and everybody give to Southwest High School Performing Arts. They need the money, and it's up to us to help these fabulous people make it as awesome as possible.
And we choose Brian Fisher for our answering machine.
Yeah,
I'm in. I'm 100% in.
Perfect.
Before we let you go, this just popped up in the chat. Let's get to 40,000 in the next 4 minutes. Remember, donation are matched. No donations are used. Anyway,
what's the answer to the Flowbee?
I do not use a Flowbee. After I heard that George Clooney used one, I tried to buy one during COVID, and they were all sold out. So.
There you go. Okay,
so let's try to get to $40,000. Give. That's the point we're here. We're here to help the kids. We're here for the kids.
Perfect. Well, thanks, Sjogren, for being here, and Brian, thanks for being our game show host. Okay, now it's back to me. Okay. And we're going to close out the intermission, get into Act 2. I know we've run a little long, but this is important. We're raising money, and this is what we have to do, and we like doing it. It's like a telethon. So this is the telethon part. So our final guest tonight is Mia Nelson. So Brian, if you could bring Mia on, if she's with us.
Hi.
Hi. And Mia is a senior Laker and guitar student. She's active in guitar orchestra and has been so since her sophomore year. Mia has participated in the guitar tour every year except this year, of course. And that guitar tours involve performances in New Orleans, Denver, and Orlando. In addition, Mia is an IB diploma candidate, co-president of the Southwest High School Green Team, and co-service coordinator for Southwest High's National Honor Society. You underachiever, really. Okay, Mia, thanks for spending a few moments with us. And of course, I'm kidding about the energy. You are. We just love hearing about what all the students do. So, Mia, question that came to me earlier today was, was curious, were you already a guitarist when you started at Southwest, or was Southwest actually the beginning?
Yeah, so I actually have been playing guitar since I was in 3rd or 4th grade, I think. I definitely transitioned more to classical guitar when I got to Southwest, but my mom's a pianist, so I learned to play piano when I was really little. So I read music and could play like chords and stuff on the guitar when I came to Southwest, so the classical reading came pretty easily.
That's great. It must be quite a journey when you get into this kind of program where you're learning new guitar styles and all that. So with all those experiences with Ruth and the other students, are there any favorite classes you had, or a special performance, or anything from on tour, or some other favorite memory that you'd like to tell everybody about?
I think one of my favorite memories is sophomore year Basilica concert. It was my first concert with Basilica concert. I wasn't in orchestra freshman year, and orchestra's the only one who plays at the Basilica for the guitar program. And we played this song called When the Guitar Sings, and it is my favorite song we have ever played. I still have it memorized from sophomore year. I'm playing it constantly. And just the atmosphere of it, I think your first Basilica concert, I think most art students can relate. It's very magical every year, but especially your first one. I also distinctly remember on our Denver tour, my sophomore year as well, we played at this retirement home, and it was just gorgeous. It was in Colorado, and it had like a walk around on the top, and we sat in these big fancy chairs, and I got to see one of my relatives. They came and watched us play because she lives in Denver. Or I think it wasn't in Denver, but it was really cool. So I think those two performances, and then the whole New Orleans trip, that was the best tour I've ever been on. Only been on 3, but still. And I think Miss LeMay is planning on just redoing it next year, which I think is a great idea because it was so fun.
Fantastic. What are your plans after graduation, Mia?
So I am going to the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. I'll be studying bioproducts and biosystems engineering. So I'm not pursuing the arts track like Enora is, but I hope to stay involved in guitar still.
Yeah, it's a great skill. Well, I've got plenty of instruments here that
I noticed that.
I
Yeah,
started at 14 and I'm an old man now, so if once you start, and if you ever years from now, when you have your midlife crisis, I strongly suggest the guitar acquisition syndrome, where you suddenly say, I need to buy every guitar in the world.
Yes, okay, I will definitely look into it.
Perfect. It's great indulgence. And then you get over it, and then you say, why do I have so many guitars? But anyway. Well, good luck with college, and thanks for being here with us. It's really a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, Mia.
All right. So, anyway, we are getting a lot of donations in, and we still have a long way to go to reach our goal, but we certainly appreciate it. I think my meter broke a long time ago. It hasn't been updated. No, it hasn't been updated. Just nice app there. So if Dave Wilson out there from our team can go onto our website and give me an update, that'd be great. But otherwise, please visit the website. There's the URL. And please give. But now, since we've gone, pretty long in our telethon section, it's really time to move on to Act 2. So Brian, if you could cue us up with Act 2, and then I will be back at the conclusion with just a few quick closing remarks. Enjoy the rest of the show.
1, 2, here we go.
So, without question, music in particular, as I have created the 3 strings, has catapulted me into this whole world of reading more and more about neurology and the neurological connection between music specifically, instrument playing even more specifically, and music and the brain. So we know there is tons of brain research about the cognitive strength that being in the arts provides for our human brain. And the earlier we can do it and the longer we can do it, it's not just a high school thing. This is birth through the end of life. And the high school years are crucial because we blend all that neurological connection with all that social emotional learning.
I think there's so many things that the arts do that no other subject can do, but I think primarily we teach to the whole child. We teach the whole student, and the things that brought me to dance and that keep me in dance are the same things that I'm talking about here. So I'm physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally engaged when I'm dancing, when I'm either choreographing or performing. And it's social. And the community. The community is so huge. These communities that our students are able to create in each of their performing arts classes are so supportive, they're so beautiful. And they're just inspiring to me as a human that we can create these really supportive communities within our schools, and then the students learn how that's done, and then they can build the next place that they go. whether that be at college or whether that be in their job, their workplace, or within their families and within their broader communities. So I think that community building is essential, and then just teaching the whole person, really engaging on more than just a mental and linguistic and verbal sense, that we're really engaging in all of our senses in the arts.
Tumble out of bed and stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition, yawn and stretch and try to come to life. Jump in the shower and the blood starts pumping, out on the streets and traffic starts jumping, with folks like me on the job from 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living, barely getting by. It's all taking and no giving, they just use your mind and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it. 9 to 5 for service and devotion. You would think that I would deserve a fair promotion. Want to move ahead, but the boss won't seem to let me. I swear sometimes that man is out to get me. They let you dream just to watch them shatter, just to step on the boss man's ladder. But you got dreams they'll never take away. In the same boat with a lot of your friends, waiting for the day your ship will come in, and the tide's gonna turn and it's all gonna roll away.
So the district allocates based on how many students are in the class, and I forget what the formula is, but usually we get around $300 to $500 in a given year. And to put it in perspective, I usually spend that much money in busing to get to the state fair before the school year starts with the band. $500 doesn't even buy one instrument, in fact.
We need to raise money to do anything else for our lighting designers for shows, our tech designers, any of our designers, guest directors, guest artists, anyone that we want to come in from the professional world to teach. We have to raise money for. They do pay for the light bulbs in the auditorium, so the audience lights, but not these. So gels, bulbs. They do some of the general upkeep, which is great. But anything that we really need for our classes and for our shows, we have to raise the money ourselves. We don't have an extracurricular theater budget, so we don't have any money on which to draw. So everything that we do, we have to raise money ourselves.
Our budget every year it's based on numbers, so it's less than $600 a year to run our department. So that's not enough. Just music alone, as we were talking before. Last year we had roughly 300 kids in choir. So 300 kids, one piece of music. Let's say it costs $2 on a good day. That's 300 kids, $2 a piece. That's $600 for one piece of music. We do 12 a year. So that alone doesn't even come close to funding.
The district provides enough money to buy markers, Post-it notes, poster paper, and just the consumables that we might use in a regular school year. So a very small amount. All of the guest artists, costuming, lighting design, all of those things are all raised by the Performing Arts Council.
The stars stole the night away.
preparing to come back to in-person learning, it became really apparent to me that there were some gaps in our inventory. So we just recently purchased 2 more euphoniums. And the reason why we did that was every kid who is in person has a school instrument that is dedicated to them. And because it's a large instrument, they have one at home. So we had to really quickly ramp up our inventory. We've also spent a lot more of our resources on getting new music out there, because in a pandemic, when we're in distance learning and coming back to in-person, where we really are in a hybrid situation, it's about 1/3 of our students are going to be at home and 2/3 will be in the classroom. We can't do a traditional band piece, where there's flute 1, flute 2, clarinet 1, 2, 3, all the parts. We can't really do that right now. And so we had to go out and find new music that's written in what's called flexible instrumentation. So we spent a lot of money on new music to make sure that need was felt as well.
We found that doing distance learning and making all these films and hiring professional sound and video artists to come and film our shows costs a lot. We saved money in some ways. We didn't have to pay a lighting designer. We didn't have to have a set designer, but you pay someone to cut things together, to edit things, and do this professional sound and to get the quality that people have come to expect from Southwest, that we need funding for that. We do go out and try to drum up as much money as we can with ticket sales and things like that. But we need that. But we also, theater's always needed bodies. We need people. We need parents. And I'm still friends with a lot of the theater parents. We have happy hours around fire pits and talk about the program and what they saw their child got out of it. And they still support. They still buy a chair. They still send money. They still go to the shows. And even if they can't see the show, they buy a ticket. So any kind of support for us is really, really important.
Yeah, and volunteering. I think we talked about that as well. If your student isn't still here, talking to other parents, being ushers, helping us with posters around town. Your money and your time is just so invaluable to us to help kind of run our program smoothly.
Care because of empathy, of creating community, yes, we are all artists and we do it through art, whether that is choir, band, orchestra, dance, guitar, theater. We all have art in us and art to share, and we can all connect through that. And in a city, in a town where the arts are so rich here, it is important to learn that as a young age, to instill that and to connect with one another, and to continue to create beauty, because what is this world without beauty and empathy and care and love?
I think current Southwest families, in order to keep things moving in the same direction and giving students the same high quality arts experiences, they just need to stay engaged. And volunteering is one way that families can do that, just showing up for concerts, offering to help out, usher, sell tickets, be a part of the marketing and the promotional materials that we put together for our programs, and then continuing to give what they're able to give financially to create budgets that allow all of the arts departments to flourish and thrive.
For music, we have students and teachers. We work hard at becoming good musicians. And we always talk about the personal expression in music and the beauty that is there. I think for the first time, perhaps maybe ever in my life, I feel like music is hard at work for us. I feel like the gift of music is our gift. And we get to share that gift with others and lighten the load. But truly, I think never have I felt so connected to music personally and with my students as seeing the art form itself working for us.
Have girls who amuse you, but where you find them and what you do with them is of absolutely no interest to me.
I can tell the future. Nothing easier. Everyone's future in their face. Nothing easier. But you want me to tell your past, huh? Nobody! Your youth, where did it go? It slipped away while you weren't looking.
What we're doing is providing a construct. We're providing a way for human beings to remember how and learn how to create community, give to each other, and not wait for someone to give to them first. So I feel like any support of all of these, and it's choir is our language. That's what we speak. But they're all very similar in that we're helping community to create itself by teaching the kids just this is what you do. You come in, you give, you help, you share, you communicate, you empathize. And I think, oh my gosh, we need so much more empathy in the world. And I'm hopeful that through that, through the conversations we have, through the music we learn, through that idea of community, I don't want to overstate the word community, but this group of amazing humans that come together and evolve every year and keep changing and growing, by being involved in that, they're becoming more giving and more of a giver in their community that they go to after this. So I feel like if families see this and think, you know, wow, my kid had a great experience here. If you want other humans, other children to have that experience, that's why you can continue to help. You can continue to come to concerts. You can continue to come to Hot Notes, the greatest party of the year. And you can continue to support arts here at Southwest, but everywhere. Because that is the thing. It's its own energy entity that without it, there's a huge hole. There's a huge hole. And a lot of the kids who are up and coming, their parents don't know it. They don't know how to get involved. They don't know how to do it yet. So hopefully we can appeal to those who've been through this process. So I hope that comes across, and I hope that kids leave our program and go, I'm a better person for having it.
I think we're all that exhausted here on the pack right now. That's the story of Southwest Performing Arts. I'd like to wrap with just a few short comments and maybe just go a little off script, but not too far. My daughter, Emily Hedrick, is a senior, and I remember her coming into Southwest as a freshman, and it's such a big school and so many kids and so many programs and so much to do and choose from. And I remember feeling the same way. I remember going to my first Hot Notes when Emily was a freshman, and my wife Sharon and I walking around St. Mary's Church, and there's just all these people. I thought, how am I ever going to network and connect and feel like I belong to this? It's just so big, there's so much. But you know, it may be big, but it's also very small. I have met some of the greatest friends I think I'm ever going to have by joining the pack. But even if one isn't on the pack, just being there, coming to the shows, coming to the concerts, volunteering as an usher, taking ticket donations at the front door, anything, showing up in the bandstand for pep band during a football game, going to the marching band parades like when Reed does the Echo Parade every year. So many things, the dance shows at Cowles and all these things, donating, anything. I will tell you that this has very much been an extended family and very meaningful. And I think Southwest is really remarkable for public school to offer the depth of programming, the pioneering approach to things like special ed with what Ruth does with 3 strings, for example, and just a lot of different kinds of innovation in how we've dealt with the COVID-19 pandemic and how we've been able to do a whole year with very limited funds and not have that revenue from gate admissions and so forth. So let me just say this. Continue to give, continue to support. Remember, these teachers are remarkable people and the kids are remarkable and they deserve our very best. I want to thank all of you for being here tonight, for your generosity toward keeping Southwest Performing Arts whole. And hey, we made that 5K anonymous match, but we did a lot more than that. Last I checked, I was doing some quick math and we were over 42,000. We raised over $42,000 in less than a month when we went live with the marketing for this. And tonight, a big chunk of it came in. So thanks for keeping the performing arts alive at Southwest High. We're going to keep our giving page open for about a week on the website before we formally close out the Hot Notes season. But the tip jar is always going to be part of the site. You can give anytime and any amount. And our commitment to you is to continue to bring the best in programming to the next generation of parents. As many of us leave and cycle out, we welcome you with open arms. We welcome your students. And we know that teachers are just going to give their very best as they always do. So one last thing, you can watch the recording of this program. This was recorded as it was going. This was a premiere, so you can watch it anytime on our YouTube channel. And let me just say once again, thanks for joining us tonight, for your support, and good night to all. And Brian, cue up that closing music.